Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at a Lesney 13D Dodge wrecker. This one here has been kit painted. It's obviously black and gold, or black and yellow. Windscreen's pretty gummed up. Everything is here. It has its hook, it has its beacon. The glass is not broken as far as I can see. So when we come back, we'll take a look and dig into it, see what we can do. So like I said, we're taking a look here at a Lesney No.13D Dodge wrecker. You can see I'm drilling the posts out here. This particular casting was first produced in 1965 through 1969 with the regular wheels and the rounded axles. 1970 was a final run with super fast wheels. There are a couple different variations. There is one with a green cab and a yellow body. They are very rare, and I've never seen one myself. So here you can see I'm taking the wheels, the axles off. I take the smaller, or the side that's been peened, and with a fine emery wheel, I work my way around it. As you can see, I let the wheel do the work here. So here you can see me starting to try and take it apart. The front end I realize is actually pretty good, so it's the back end that's the problem here. So after trying to pry a little bit, getting a little loose, I didn't want to bend anything. I didn't want to break the base on them things. They're pretty thin. So I grabbed my stylus and a burr and started working that post a little more, just to try and get that edge off of there. So you have to be real gentle. I actually didn't take any green paint off. Give it a little pry and popped off. So now that I have the two pieces together, now it's a matter of taking the hook off, taking out the windscreen and the beacon, and getting them cleaned up. So here at this point, I need to get the beacon out, and I don't want to put too much pressure on there. I don't want to break it. So I have a little bit of diluted cleaning fluid here, and what I'm doing is I'm just working the paint off a little bit at a time. So here we have everything apart: wheels, the beacon, the hook, the windscreen. So that's all going to go into brake fluid, and I'm going to let that soak for a little while to get the paint off. Luckily latex paint comes off with brake fluid. So that'll sit for a little while, and then while that's doing that, I'll throw the body into the stripper and let that sit. So here I'm going to start working on the windscreen. Again, using some of the brake fluid and a Q-tip. I'll start working the paint off the glass. This works really well, doesn't leave any streaks or any marks behind. I did notice on this side there is actually a flaw in the glass itself, or plastic. It's not actually a scratch or a crack. When I formed the windscreen, there was a flaw within the windscreen itself. So when we look at it later on, you'll actually be able to see it. Getting finished here, and next we're going to take a look at the windscreen. Going to give it a nice little bath in gauzy and get that all nice and shiny and looking almost brand new. Out of the stripper. I'm going to hit this with a wire brush, taking a look at it right now, seeing what's bad. There's a little nick there on the one fender, but all in all it's in pretty good shape, not too much pitting. Again, I've got to tap the two posts still. So coming up here, you're going to see me working on the beacon. You can see it's a little rough, if I can get myself the camera to focus here, but it's a little rough. There's some chips at the top. It's just in generally rough shape. So what I'm going to do is take some 2000 grit wet sandpaper, and with my stylus I'm going to give it a little bit of a sanding, get it knocked down. bodies out of primer. Primer I used isn't my normal primer. I ran out of my Tamiya fine gray, so I had this primer from Lowe's, and it's a little heavy, a little rough. It's a automotive primer, which I should have known better, but it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some 2000 grit sandpaper again, and with a little bit of water, and sand down the high spots, try and get some of the roughness out of it so that this thing can get ready for paint. So it was at this point that I decided that I wasn't going to use the regular wheels that came with it. I'm going to use some dualies from Greenlight, just because it fit what I was going to do with this casting. You can see me fuddling around with them with my big old sausage fingers. So I'm playing around, seeing how it fits, getting it snapped back into place. Seeing how they look, making sure the stance is right. The stance isn't going to change here with these guys. So the front wheels, even though they look big, if you look at pictures of the W200 or a D200, the wheels are pretty big on these things. Again, the dualies would be more for the W200s or W300s, which were the bigger four-wheel drive vehicles. Here you can see what I had to do. I had to clean out the back. I had to trim it down so that the dualies would fit in the wheel well properly. So I took a little diamond disc and cut it down and worked it so that they worked. So here we go. Everything's all painted and ready to be put back together. So I think you guys kind of have an idea what direction I went with this. I used Createx paints and sprayed it with several coats of 1K clear. So I'm going to sit here and get everything gathered. Beacon's nice and clear, glass is clear, hook is clean. I'm going to take a moment here and get everything put together. So now that we got her all screwed together, let's take a look at what we started with. Kid painted, gold, yellow, or whatever, black, green, Dodge record truck. Was in desperate need of a restoration. Again, I took my twist and did a little bit of a RestoMod. So take a look here in a second, get this baby over on the turntable and see what we ended up with. There she is. 1965 Dodge, either D200 or W200, 300 record truck in the Gulf livery. I hand painted the back bumper with the stripes. Obviously went with the orange on the hook, or on the arms and in the rims. Did the front grille in orange and white, going with what pictures I could find. A lot of times there's front grills were either white or painted the same color as the rest of the front. So here she is, all done. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Hit the bell so you get notifications for when I do get some more content up. And hang tight for a couple glamour shots here at the end. Thanks again, guys.